Hello again. As we said a few minutes ago, now Raquel Saiz, Director of Analysis and Strategy at AseBio, is going to welcome you.
Muy bien. Good morning now, and welcome to Bio Spain. It's a great honor for AseBio to inaugurate this session as coordinators of the European Climate Pact in Spain. I would like to thank all of you for being part of this event, especially to the European Commission, who is here today with us. 4 months ago, we kicked off a movement across the European Union to encourage us to build a more sustainable Europe. The Climate Pact is part of the European Green Deal and is helping the EU to meet its goals to be the first climate-neutral continent in the world by 2050. This is a unique opportunity for people, communities and organizations to participate in the fight against climate change across Europe. Now we are forced to seek and promote a new sustainable economic model, applying new ways of producing and consuming. And here, the biotech sector has the potential to offer significant benefits to society. For instance, bio-based products can be reused, recycled, converted into energy, and can be composted, thanks to biotechnological processes. We contribute to circular bioeconomy by giving a second life to urban, forest, and agri-food wastes. However, to be successful, people, communities, and organizations must get involved and take action. This is why AseBio will keep working to promote initiatives that support a green economic model and that aim to strengthen the links with society. For this reason, we are here today to know more about the Pact, but also to discuss about how different stakeholders from business, scientific, educational and financial fields work to increase sustainable solutions. Now, I would like to give the floor to KATERINA Fortun, Policy Officer at the European Commission, who will tell us more about the Pact. Thank you for being here with us today, and I wish you a fruitful and enriching session. Thank you very much.
Hello. Can you hear me? Because we had a big problem with the audio. So thank you, Raquel, for the introduction to your Climate Pact. And I'm really happy to be here, even though I'm in Brussels. But really happy to see that real action is happening in Pamplona. And so I'm really happy to be part of the European Climate Pact.
Sorry, we have some connection problem.
It's seen. Okay.
KATERINA, can you
Is it
try
better
again?
now?
Can you try again?
Okay. Try again. Can you hear me? No.
No, it's not working. I don't know what's happened with the connection. Can you try again to see if we can hear you properly? It's a real pity.
Okay, either I can connect again. Or do you hear me now? Okay.
There is a problem with no se oye. With the connection, you know, from Brussels. Con la conexión de Bruselas hay un problema. No sé si podéis hacer algo.
Sí, le voy a decir a los compañeros.
Disculpad, we are sorry, with these technical issues. ¿Se escucha? Ok. Ok. Katerina? See, let's try again. I think there is a little bit of delay, between you and us, but let's try.
Okay, maybe it's Brussels and Pamplona. So I'll maybe talk slowly. Yeah, it's also funny that I hear the echo. Okay, I'm really happy to be here because it's a great opportunity to talk to bio enterprises, and these enterprises also create good quality jobs. And I believe that in Spain is more than 100,000 quality good jobs. So I'm really happy to share how you can be part of also of the European Climate Pact. Let's see if you can see my presentation. So it's more visual. So indeed, as Raquel mentioned, we launched the European Climate Pact, which means it's really involving everyone to be part of the European Green Deal. And I really like this slide because it talks about where we are now with COVID. And we have a chance to go to normal, which there is a bit of nostalgia. And yet, what is it to go to normal? Indeed, what I see is lots of pollution, noise, going to office just to move from house to other places, so lots of traffic. Also, in terms of inclusiveness, not very good quality jobs. And the normal at this moment is that 8 richest people actually have the same wealth as 4 billion people of the planet at the lowest level. So now we are in COVID and we have time to reflect. How do we want to live? And how do we want to grow? What does it mean to live a good life? So a way forward is really the image with green, blue infrastructure, with businesses that do follow climate sustainable practices, that take care of their employees. We are aware of us, of people, and the planet, the nature. Now, we also ask the Europeans, what do they think? So 96% of Europeans have already taken at least one action to tackle climate change. And 93% of Europeans believe that climate change is a serious problem. And 90% of Europeans agree that greenhouse gas emissions should be reduced to make us really a climate neutral continent by 2050. So we do have people on board. Now, a very interesting thing is to really take the action at personal level and ask, what is my footprint on our planet? I invite you to have a look at the consumer footprint calculator that was developed by colleagues in JRC, in a research center of the European Commission, and to really see what are our habits. And the European Climate Pact invites everyone, the citizens, us as people, to take actions, to take a concrete step, either to fly less, cut food waste, eat seasonal food, really start living more in local economy and support local businesses, local enterprises. Now, at the European Commission, there is an action plan, a vision, which is called the European Green Deal. I imagine that you have heard about the European Green Deal. Now, in concrete, it is about legislation, policies. We also adopted European climate law, where actually the reduction of emissions will be binding for all member states. So by 2030, there is a midterm target that there has to be decrease of EU's emissions by 55%. And yet, to Europe, it is clear that it's important to have the action plan. It is important to have policies and laws. And yet, the most important thing is to have people, everyone on board. And this is why the European Climate Pact was launched, to really invite everyone on board, as a citizen, as an employee, as a business person, as a politician. And the Climate Pact is about empowering people, because we really need to pass message to wine lovers and also to football fans. So today I brought two examples. One is about wine, which I know that also you have very good wine in Navarra. This example is from Bordeaux, and one of the wineries, they prepared wine, how the wine would taste in 2015 if we don't take action. And people tried the wine and they really did not like it. So it was about raising awareness that we all have to take action so we can preserve what we love. I also bring this video of UEFA. I will not have time to play it now, and if you have the chance, I find it really interesting. Indeed, my husband, he is from Pamplona, and sometimes I do struggle to include him in climate actions and everyday steps. So this video from UEFA on football really helped to also convince him on the importance to really take concrete steps and change our life. Now, what is the Climate Pact? So what is it about? It is about raising awareness, empowering people with the information that we can all take action. And it's really about bringing people from all corners of Europe, bring them together so we support each other and we can act together. Now, for the businesses, okay, you can be part of the pact as a Climate Pact ambassador. So anyone is welcome. You can represent your business, you can be on your own, you can come from a public-private organization, from public administration, you can be a politician, you can be a student, you can be a retired person. Anyone is welcome. And if you would like to take action in your local community, maybe just to talk about climate or invite people to cook maybe with local products, you can become Climate Pact ambassador. You will be supported by the Commission, and it gives voice to your community. It gives voice to Pamplona, it gives voice to any town in Navarra, any community, any village. It gives voice also to Spain. At the moment, we have 1,000 Climate Pact ambassadors. We also very much welcome young people, so you can become an ambassador if you are 15 years old. So please do join. And this is the way to be part of the Pact and directly be connected with the European Commission and with other people. Also, as an enterprise, you can commit to a pledge, which means, for instance, biotech, of course, in the field that you do, to be sustainable. You can also make a pledge that you raise awareness of your employees, that you just talk to your employees, as simple as bringing local products to your canteen or offering electric cars to your management or electric bikes, even better, to your employees. So it is really about what you do as an enterprise and also what you do within the enterprise. You can also organize any dialogue, any gathering, any event. So we would be happy to join you, as what's happening now in BioSpain. You can also do it at smaller level in your company, and we would be happy to support you. And I think that with this, I stop because I definitely passed my 10 minutes. I hope that it served the purpose, and if you have any question, I would be really happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.
So thank you, Katerina. Thank you also to Raquel. And now we have a connection with Manuel Parga. He's the Director of Marketing and Head of Sustainability on the Spanish Olympic Committee and Ambassador of the Climate Pact. He's from Spain, but he's going to speak in English. So welcome, Manuel.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. For me, it's a pleasure being here, and thank you to BioSpain for inviting the Spanish Olympic Committee to present to others what we are doing. I don't know if you see me properly because I'm seeing the screen and I'm not talking in the screen, but I think you can hear me. Hello, can you confirm that everything is okay? Hello? Well, so let's go. First of all, I would like to talk about the sustainability strategy of the Spanish Olympic Committee. And before talking, we are members where we are ambassadors. I'm representing the Spanish Olympic Committee, and we got this, as you can see, this membership as an ambassador. And well, first of all, I would like to talk a bit about what we are. I mean, who we are. Now, the Spanish Olympic Committee, we are a private entity. We are not government. Many people think that we are public administration, but we are not. We were founded in 1912. We have more than 100 years operating in Spain. We belong to a private organization, the International Olympic Committee, and we are with other 206 national Olympic committees. Our mission and vision is to promote the practice of sport and the Olympic values in the territory of Spain. We manage the team of Spain in the Olympic Games, the Winter and Summer Games, and one of the editions of the European Games. And we are members of the 59 sport federations. 35 out of those are Olympic and 24 non-Olympic. We manage the team of Spain, which are accumulated 12,000 athletes, and we have obtained recently in Tokyo 17 medals, but accumulated 48 gold medals, silver medals 73, and bronze medals 50. But the question here is we are promoting the sport values and the practice of sport, but we have another question in our mind, which is what we can do for our planet. Climate change is affecting sport heavily. Just think about the winter sports, or just think about a runner running in a very polluted city. So we need to do something to create a better world and a healthy planet. But at the same time, the sports events are generating emissions. So it's our responsibility to be part of this movement to reduce our carbon footprint. And that's why we have defined in the Spanish Olympic Committee this sustainability strategy. Our sustainability strategy is aligned with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that you probably all know. We are not just focusing on environmental issues, but also social issues. But let's see about what we are doing specifically, because we started this strategy in 2017. We started talking about the Sustainable Development Goals a long time ago, almost 4.5 years already. So we have 8 lines of actions. We have defined a roadmap very clear, and we have started 4 years ago. We have 8 lines of action: health and well-being, energy efficiency, mobility, circular economy, digital transformation, gender equality, social action, and education. All of those lines are explained here. We, of course, are talking about the sport, so we promote the practice of sport, but we need to achieve energy efficiency in all of headquarters and sport infrastructure and venues. We need to obtain a reduction of gas emissions in all our operations, and basically in mobility, which is the highest footprint that we generate. Imagine 80,000 people going to a football match. They generate a lot of gas emissions in just the transportation. And circular economy, the 3 R's: reduce, recycle, and reuse in all our consumption. We consume a lot of textile. Digital transformation, we are convinced that we can do more with less resources, and this is digital, to press everything into digital, because we will generate less weight at the same time. Gender equality is one of our must, is one of the Olympic values, equality. So we can promote the participation of women in the sport organization. Social action, we the climate change have produced a lot of poverty worldwide. So we, the sports and the athletes, we are a great voice to pass this message to the world, and try to compensate all those damages. And education is key, not just for the Olympic values, but as I said, the Olympic movement and the athletes are a great voice to pass messages to society, and focusing specifically in younger generations. We have defined 3 spheres of action in each of these lines. So first of all, we have to be ourselves sustainable in all our operation. We started in 2017, we have reduced to zero the use of plastic. We consume 100% of our energy coming from renewable energy. We have reduced 100% our gas emissions in this kind thing. So we have done many things, because before going to others to show what we can do or we want to do, we have to do ourselves, and we have to be an example. The second sphere of activity is to go to the Olympic movement. The Olympic movement is all the national federations, from the very fancy ones like soccer or basketball to the very small ones. And we go first to the national. We have 59 national federations, and then the regional federations. Just have in mind that 60% of the Spanish population are related to sport or practice sport. And this is almost 30 million people. And this can be scaled to other countries. So sport federations are key. And the last one, but the most important one, is we have to be sustainable in the sporting events. Sporting events are the activity that generate the highest carbon footprint in the practice of a sport. But it's a great way to pass messages not only to the public administration that is holding this event or the city that is hosting that event, but also to all athletes, all organizations around the sporting events, all the suppliers, all the organizing committees, all the owners of the venues that participate in that event, but spectators, all the fans, all the followers of that event, just not being maybe being at the same venue, but also following the event through the channels, social media, or the TV. So sporting events are key for us and are the most are the events that generate the most carbon footprint. But another key point for us is together we can make it better. That's why we participate in the European Climate Pact, because we think that together we can achieve things much better and sooner. This is a principle of the Olympic movement, teamwork. So we, as you see the Olympic greens, we are members of the Olympic sustainability projects. We are members since 2018 of the Global Compact of the United Nations. We have an agreement with the Federation of the Cities and Provinces of Spain. We achieve more than 9,000 cities in Spain through this agreement. We are also, we have a partner of UNITAR, the agency of the United Nations, that is focusing about the education in sustainable development goals. And we have developed a few programs, educational programs with them. Of course, European Climate Pact is key. We are members, Spain is member of the European Union, and the Spanish Olympic Committee is really, really committed with the climate change, and we want to be the voice for the Spanish society. And for us, it's very important to be part of this organization and to be ambassadors. We have a very important agreement with the central government of Spain through the Ministry of Ecological Transition, not just in terms of digital transformation or energy efficiency, but also in educational programs, because I think education is the first step to be more sustainable in the future. And we are members, the first National Olympic Committee being members of the United Nations Climate Change, the Sports for Climate Action. Since that date, we participate with other big organizations like UEFA or Roland Garros or other National Olympic Committee or Paris 2024 in order, all our organizations around the sports, in order to identify the roadmap and to help each other. And as I said before, that together we can do it better. So in order to achieve that vision of the Spanish Olympic Committee and the Olympic movement, our vision is to build a better world through sport, but we want to do it together with other partners, and we need a better and more sustainable world to live in. Thank you very much. And I encourage everyone that can do anything, any step, any small piece of action to participate and to be part of this European climate change. Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Manuel, for your words and for being with us this morning in Pamplona. Now we have a new panel. Maria Segura Fornieles, Deputy Director General and Technical Director in Alga Energy, is going to moderate it, and it's going to discuss how to get involved in the European Pact on Climate Change. This panel relies on the collaboration of the Spanish biotech platform and the Ministry of Science and Innovation. Thanks for your support. Maria, thank you. To talk about this subject, we welcome the experts Enrique ESPÍ GUZMÁN from Repsol Technology Lab, Lorena Tudela Marco, Agri-Food Studies Service of the Cajamar Cooperative Group, Javier Gil, Director Biomass Department in CENER, and CELSA MONRÓS BARAHONA, Director General of Climate Change of the Valencian Autonomous Government. Thank you, all of you, to be with us. Muchísimas gracias. They are going to speak in English, but they are from Spain, so gracias por acompañarnos esta mañana en Baluarte, en la inauguración de Bio Spain 2021. Perdón.
Thank you. Sí, ¿no? Celsa. Una para allá. Siéntate ahí, Lorena. Vale. Yo aquí. Yo aquí, ¿no? Vale. Celsa. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this roundtable related with the European Climate Pact. First of all, I would like to introduce again our speakers, and of course, thank you very much for your participation. Enrique ESPÍ is the technical advisor in Repsol Technology Lab. Lorena Tudela is agri-food market analyst at Plataforma Tierra, Grupo Cooperativo Cajamar. And Javier Gil is Director of Biomass Department in CENER. Okay, let's start. According to what the previous speakers have told us, the Pact is an open and inclusive initiative that invites people, communities, and organizations to connect and share knowledge, learn about climate change, develop, implement, and scale up solutions. The climate crisis is real and affects all of us, but everyone can contribute to find solutions and implement them. So the first question for all of you is, could you tell us how you and your organizations can contribute to solving this crisis? Lorena?
Thank you. You can hear me well? It's fine? Okay. So good morning, all of you. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. And well, I would like to start briefly describing who we are in order to better understand why Cajamar Credit Bank is being here, right? So in addition of support or financial services, Cajamar, it's been always working in order to transfer and generate knowledge always linked in agri-food sector. That's why in the 70s we create a research center that I know that you already know in Almería, and later on another one in Valencia in the 90s. And in both centers, our main goal is to better understand how agri-food sector works and needs, no? And well, we don't do that alone, of course. We always are working and trying to collaborate with other partners. Well, I would like to start just saying that because this link with the agri-food sector is really important to understand that we really know what are the main challenges that agri-food sector has to face against this crisis. So coming back to your question, in order to really try to contribute to solve this crisis, Cajamar has two main lines, let's say, no? In order to be concrete, in the first line, we really highly work in the area of supporting technologies that all of them improve sustainability, right? Then, let's say more in detail, we are working in trying to improve technologies that try to achieve how to use soil, how to safe water. In other words, we try to bring these technologies to the market. And on the other hand, our second main goal is try to fill the gap between these technologies and the final users. This is what we are doing like daily.
Okay, thank you, Lorena. Javier?
Okay, good morning, everybody. In your case, we are a technological center working on renewables, and including also bio-based product development. And our mission is develop technology and transfer technology, and promote the acquisition and the dissemination of knowledge and technological know-how. This is the way we have to work to put our work in order to solve this climate crisis.
Okay. Thank you, Javier. Enrique?
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, AseBio, for the invitation, and thank you, Maria, for the introduction and for the question. First, I would like to say that, Climate Pact is an important tool because, Europe is leading the fight against climate change through the Kyoto Protocol or the Green Deal. But the fight against climate change is not a matter only of legislation, and it's not a matter only of authorities, but all the society should be involved. So I think that Climate Pact is an excellent platform to share information, knowledge, success experience to contribute to this fight. So in this sense, Repsol, that is a multi-energy company, would like to share some of the experience in this field. Perhaps the story could start in 2010 when you started to apply the energy efficiency concept, and this is a very good option. I think the first option to choose, because we have managed to save around 5 million tons of carbon dioxide since 2010, and combining environmental sustainability and at the same time economic profitability. That is a very, very important issue. But right now, I think that energy efficiency is not enough, and this is why we are following two different pathways. The first one is to transform our traditional oil and gas business, transforming our refineries in what we call the refineries for the future, changing our fossil raw materials to low carbon feedstock, using mainly residues or renewable carbon biomass. In this sense, we are using this renewable carbon feedstock to produce both materials through the circular economy program. We have circular polyolefins through mechanical and chemical recycling, and also polyols for the polyurethane sector through chemical recycling, through solvolysis. And we have the commitment to use 20% of recycled feedstock in the chemical sector by 2030. And the second option for this renewable feedstock is to use to produce advanced biofuels. I would like to mention that this is something that we are doing for years, but right now we are accelerating this program. And this summer, for example, we have produced 5,000 tons of biojet for the air transport sector in our Bilbao refinery, and we have the commitment to accelerate this program. And finally, the last pathway we are following is entering in new business, in this case the production of renewable electricity, through investments in the wind and in solar plants. And in 2020, for example, 30% of our investment is in this renewable electricity production. So this is some of the experience and that Repsol would like to share with you in order to show how we contribute to the climate fight, to the climate change fight.
Okay. Thank you very much for your contributions. In the initial phase, the Pact will prioritize action focused on 4 areas that offer immediate benefits, not only for the climate and the environment, but also for the health and well-being of citizens. Green areas, green transport, green buildings, and green skills. The Pact will expand over time to other areas such as sustainable consumption and production, the quality of soils, rural areas, oceans and coastal regions, as well as healthy foods and sustainable diets. Therefore, the question here in Spain is, what areas do you think we have to focus on?
Okay, it's not easy, no? Let's say that there are so many things to do, and to select some areas, it's quite hard. But yeah, getting directly in your question, in Cajamar we focus our work in 4 main areas. The first one is take care of soil. I mean, soil matters, right? And yeah, soil is fundamental for the agri-food production. That's why in Cajamar we believe that if we know, if we understand how it works, then we will better ensure a good land management. So, okay. So, in this way, for example, as an example, using microorganisms in the soil, we increase the capture of CO2, and also we will get a stronger food system, which is, it's a way of fight against that crisis, right? And the second point is to keep biodiversity in farming. Here another example is using mulching practices and also biological control to reduce the level of inputs needed. And the third one, it's to use or to support green energies. Why? Because the food sector really needs a lot of energy. For example, I'm just give us some examples. Just pumping water for the irrigation system to one place to another. Also, all the food process needs a lot of energy, all the food transformations, cool storage, and yeah, it's all these green energies are very welcome, to fix these energy demands. And also, the final one is to support bioeconomy, because yeah, it's now the whole industry, and also, I mean, from farm to the industry, everybody is aware that we have to really reduce and achieve the use of less water and less carbon emissions. So let's take profit of all these formulas to achieve our goals. So we believe that at the end, with all these 4 areas, we get as a final result healthy food. We can decrease the use of natural resources, and at the end we generate or we support the idea to create employment in the rural areas that are really needed in Spain.
Okay, sorry, because I have to interrupt. I didn't know that CELSA MONRÓS, who is the General Director of Climate Change from the Valencian Regional Government, sorry, CELSA, I didn't know that you are connected via online. And coming back to the previous question, CELSA, if you want to add anything, please feel free. And again, sorry for my mistake. I think we have some problems with the audio.
You can't hear me?
Now we can now.
Oops. Okay.
Yeah, CELSA, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes?
It's okay. Now it's okay.
Perfect. No, I was saying that we were having technical problems. In any case, thank you very much to AseBio and to Spain for organizing and inviting us. As you said, we are the Valencian regional government, and among our actions, we have declared the climate emergency 2 years ago, and since then we have been working on a new regional climate law which establishes objectives and tackling mitigation adaptation, but also raising awareness and capacity building. To prepare this law, we had several bilateral meetings with all kinds of actors, but also 6 thematic meetings with more than 100 stakeholders to explain the purpose of the measures and to listen to their concerns to design a holistic regulation. My department is also responsible for the Regional Environmental Education Center that has joined the Climate Pact. We are ambassadors and has stressed its activity in climate awareness, trying to build up a better awareness to be a more critical and more committed society. We provide training to teachers, to civil servants, to young people. Yesterday, for example, we had a meeting with the education department of the regional government to establish the climate emergency strategy in the education portfolio and in the curriculum. And we also work in other areas. As last week, we presented a new simulation to show the future climate scenarios on the coastal area to see inundation, the floods, the erosion, to help policy actors, citizens, investors to take decisions on socioeconomical and urban planning. These are some of the measures that we are taking and the actions. And well, I think that it's very related to all the objectives that Climate Pact has on it.
Thank you, CELSA, for your introduction and contribution. Javier, I don't know if you, coming back to the previous question.
In my opinion, increasing forest area coverage and promoting the use of forest products as a carbon sink is one of the most effective and cost-effective ways for carbon dioxide capture in the long term. At the same time, we have to, because we already have to act now, we have to take measures also in the short and medium term, and in my opinion also transport is one of the main issues due to the percentage of carbon dioxide emissions that are dependent on all the transport modes. We have to tackle all transport modes, from passenger cars, that could be done by electrification, but also have to think also in heavy transport, maritime transport and aviation. And we have other kind of solutions with low carbon fuels, including biofuels also in this energy mix.
Okay, thank you, Javier. Enrique?
Yes, well, of course, all the areas you have mentioned are important, but I agree with Javier that perhaps the transport is one of them to remark, because Repsol is very focused in supplying the energy for the transport sector. So I would like to mention three projects we have related to the production of energy for the transport sector. The first one is a plant we are building in Cartagena refinery that is focused in producing advanced biofuels through hydroprocessing renewable feedstock, especially residues, to produce hydrobiodiesel, biojet, bionaphtha, and biopropane for the transport to be used in cars, in planes, and in trucks. The capacity is around 250 kilotons per year, and this plant will save around 900,000 tons of carbon dioxide. The second project I would like to mention, will be located in the Bilbao refinery, and in this case the technology is quite different. The feedstock will be carbon dioxide directly and renewable hydrogen to produce what we call synthetic fuels or e-fuels. And in this project, we have created a joint venture with Saudi Aramco and the EVE, that is the Ente Vasco de la Energía, and this will be operational in 2023. And the final project I would like to mention is also located in Bilbao, and is a project to gasify urban waste in order to use this gas as energy source in our refinery, substituting fossil gases fuels. And in this way, we could reduce the carbon footprints of every product that comes from the refinery.
Okay. Thank you, Enrique. I don't know if CELSA wants to add something more, or is okay from your side in this question.
Yeah, well, just to say that we are also working with municipalities. We are very close to citizens and it's governmental. We want that working with them because they are closer to the citizens and its governance levels can make that they accept they are part of their responsibility. So we encourage municipalities to draft an action plan and a climate action plan, and then we provide them with financial support to implement those measures, mainly in mobility and energy. Because we think that these are the main areas to start with. They are the most visible ones for the citizens, and we can see that it's easier to implement and it has a higher impact.
Okay, thank you, CELSA, for your views. Now I would like to ask you some specific questions according to the entity that you represent. Enrique, for example, Repsol, as you have mentioned, is a big multi-energy company with extensive presence all over the world. So taking advantage of this, what kind of pledges do you think you can make to the Climate Pact?
Well, we have very clear and quantitative pledges and commitments. The most important is that we were the first energy company to announce that we will be a net zero emissions company by 2050. But we have some intermediate checkpoints in order to reach this objective. We will reduce our carbon intensity index by 14 by 2025, 30% by 2030, and 50% by 2040. But we have also some short-term commitments or objectives, for example, to reduce our methane emissions by 25% by 2030, to reduce our routine flaring by 50% by 2030 also. We have also some objectives for renewable electricity production. I think that are 8.3 gigawatts of production capacity by 2025 and 15 gigawatts by 2030. And we have also objectives for the renewable hydrogen, that don't forget to mention hydrogen, that are 400,000 tons by 2025 and 1.5 gigawatts by 2030. And one last commitment that is not quantitative, but it's very important, is our commitment with the technology developments. I think that technology developments are absolutely necessary to reach our objective against climate change. And perhaps to mention our projects related to carbon capture, use and storage. For example, we are developing programs to transfer carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into solid carbonates that can be used in the cement or the building sector as a carbon sink. And this is also important to mention technology developments.
Okay. Thank you, Enrique. Lorena, from a financial point of view, what kind of activities do you think are necessary to finance in order to achieve the objectives of the Pact?
Okay, so, well, being a credit bank, being a Cajamar, we know that we play a unique role in ensuring that people or agribusiness can achieve their goals, because we know we are aware that we have we influence, we can have an effect on what projects finally the companies develop, So that's why we really want to fall involved in all these projects, because we really support the role of science, technology, and innovations. That's why it's so great to hear about your all projects. And why we really believe that we can support is because on one hand we have the experience from decades, and also because we interact with all the actors in the agri-food value chains. And coming back in our two main lines of work, like first try to support the companies that are developing these these technologies. Let's say that our main activities is to work close with them, no? And mainly this needs time because these projects are, we are talking about long-term projects, no? And also most of these projects are have some high level of risk, no? And we know that because most of them are in the early stage of development. And because we know that, and because we really believe that it's worth it to support them, because when the results appears, I mean, they can drive really structural changes in the whole sector. So, for example, here, I would like to share with you all that in Cajamarca, like 50 years ago, we started to give financial support for the irrigation systems in Almeria. And well, everybody knows the huge change that Almeria has developed. And nowadays, we are still, I mean, keeping up this financial support in the area of try to support the best use of water, no? And that's why we support so many startups that are working on that line. And in the other line that we are working, it's fill this gap, no? Trying to ensure as quickly as possible that companies have access to these technologies. We create a Plataforma Tierra. I don't know if you already know, it's a kind of marketplace where you can find all the companies, all the technologies, and try to apply for them, right? Well, if you have time, I really encourage you to have a look on the website. I hope you like it.
Okay, thank you, Lorena. CELSA, environmental education and green skills will be an important factor in achieving the Pact's objectives. What actions are necessary to promote their development?
Well, firstly, I think that we need to have a diagnosis of what is required, which skills we need, and the purpose of that skills. If we want to change behavior about mobility, residues, or we need professional skills in the industry or building. And then also we need to identify which gaps we have, which skills are lacking, and who are those target groups. And then finally to define this strategy to ensure the success with different channels of communication, different tools, messages to motivate and to reach those target groups. And what we are doing also is to ensure that we have multipliers, because at the end we need that the message arrive or reach the most of the people. And that means that we have to train teachers, we have to train people that then they will be the ambassadors. And that's also one of the reasons why we think that it's so attractive, the Climate Pact, because it makes this kind of oil drop that goes to all the territory.
Okay, thank you, Celsa. Javier, research and collaboration with technological transfer companies are essential to improve profitable, sustainable, ready-to-use products. What are the main barriers to bring these products to the market?
In this case, I agree with Lorena. We need financial support in all the life cycle of development projects, from low TRL up to demo stage. We need incentives in order to collaborate with the industry to bring technology from low TRL to the market. In this sense, we are working on TRL levels from the lab in low TRL up to demo stage. But for our research or technological center, when you reach the pilot stage, it's quite complicated from the financial point of view. And the project, the requirements of money for the project increase some order of magnitude. So we need, and at the same time for the industry, TRL is too low and the risk is still high for this kind of investments. So we need some some kind of support in order to be able to collaborate to bring the technology when you reach a significant level to the requirement to bring the technology for the market. This is our vision.
Thank you, Javier. And finally, I would like to ask each of you to briefly conclude your views on the importance of the Climate Pact and our actions.
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah, trying to be short, no, briefly, which is not easy, but let's say, like, I would like to say that agri-food is part of the solution. Agri-food sector is part of the solution. So, as a financial entity, we highly connected with the agri-food sector. We know that we play a role here, and that's why we want to have a voice in driving this, or trying to contribute to solve this crisis. Yeah, we really believe that we need to loudly share our opinions and our experience.
Thank you, Lorena. Javier?
Government and companies' commitment is necessary, but the commitment of the citizens is a powerful tool. We change the consumer behavior for energy, for products, for everything. We will change all the economy. This is it's difficult because it's long term, but it's one of the keys also.
Okay. CELSA?
Yes, well, I think that we have to stress that we are on emergency, that we have a very narrow opportunity window, and we need to be brave, sincere, and fast in this ecological transition. So we need to inform, to get aware, to draft this roadmap through a lot of communication, and this will be the key actions to succeed.
Thank you, Celsa. Enrique?
Yeah, well, very shortly, to remark the commitment of Repsol with the supply of accessible, affordable, and low-carbon energy to the society, and perhaps to remark also how important is technology development in order to transform this big challenge into business opportunities.
Okay. Thank you, Enrique. In closing, our everyday choices matter. Climate action is an opportunity for everyone to improve our lives, our economy, and our society. While many people and organizations are already taking steps for the climate, others are eager to learn more so they can start making climate-conscious choices. The European Climate Pact intends to bring everyone together, as it happened in this session. So thank you very much to the speakers and to the audience for joining us, and I hope this session has been as enjoyable and informative as it has been for us. We invite you to visit the Climate Pact website and see the initiatives and actions that we can take, both as individuals and companies, so to counteract this crisis. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Eskerrik asko.
Qué bueno.
Have a hard job ahead, but it's also interesting to discover how much we can all do just sometimes with little things, little change, sometimes starting at home. Now we're going to talk about bioproducts and how to pave the way for a more sustainable planet.
Exacto.
Thank you. Inés del Campo, Senior R&D Engineer at the Spanish National Renewable Energy Center, is going to moderate this panel, which relies on the collaboration of alga energy. Inés, she is going, yes, she's here, is joined by Begoña Ruiz from AINIA, a technology center in Bilbao, Michael Brankham, Managing Director in the European Circular Bioeconomy Fund, Germany, Pilar Llorente Ruiz de Azua, Project Officer in Bio-Based Industries Joint Undertaking, and María Segura Fornieles, Deputy Director General and Technical Director in Alga Energy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session about bioproducts for a sustainable planet. And also thank you to the online attendees. So it's a pleasure to be here. I will have one presential attendee who is Maria Segura. She was the moderator for the former session. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you.
You can see it here.
Here?
Yes, as well. I can see it close to you. And I think we have three online speakers, three participants, who are Begoña Ruiz from AINIA, Pilar Llorente Ruiz de Azúa from the PBIJU, and Michael Brandkamp from the ABCF. So Maria, as you know, is the Deputy General Manager and Technical Director of Alga Energy in Spain. Begoña Ruiz is Head of Biotechnology Department of AINIA. It's a research center